So I forgot all about this. About a month ago, I asked people to submit questions for me to answer in regards to the Abridged series. I compiled all the questions, and I also sifted through some of the most recent episodes to get more questions from you guys. So let me go through all the questions that were submitted and that I could find, and I could answer some of them. This first question is from Ryan Go Burden. How is there dialogue from Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, Chain of Memories, Recoded, and Dream Drop Distance if there isn't any abridged of these games in this channel? Right, so the first episode of KH3 Abridged has a little montage at the beginning for the other games. We really wanted that to, well, I really wanted that to be like the intro to KH3 Abridged, but a lot of those games we didn't even abridge in the first place, besides 358 Days and Birth by Sleep. All the other games haven't been abridged. So I just wrote dialogue for those, for that montage. I tried to think about what the jokes would be if I had abridged those games and what the jokes would be in those scenes. Yeah, there's no actual abridged series for those games. I kind of want to do Dream Drop Distance, but I also don't want to do it as well. I started to write one for Chain of Memories, but I didn't get far. Next question is from Succubi Pie. You guys ever consider working on advertising strategies? I think only an actual handful of people know this channel exists. People ask about social media. Yeah, we have a bunch of social, like we have a Facebook account or a Facebook group, we have an Instagram page, we have a Twitter page, and I post them all the time, but no one follows us there. Our Facebook page was the first page that we made, like me and Dominic. It's mainly Dominic. And then we made a Twitter account as well a few years ago, but we lost the login for that, and only recently have I begun to use it again after I recovered the password. And then we also had an Instagram page, and we lost the password for that. So for Twitter, I was able to recover it, but it had been like 3 years since the last post. And then our Instagram page, that was lost forever. And I made a new one, but I just suck at updating social media stuff. The Twitter accounts just turn into my backup account. I just post random Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy stuff. And then our Instagram account, I just last updated that a few months ago, and I haven't really been bothering to work on that. It's something that I feel like we should have been doing more earnestly and actively from the outset back in 2016 when we started. Now it's like we're already at the end of Final Fantasy. Oh, we finished Final Fantasy 15. We're at the end of KH3. It's like there's not really any point at this point. Also, the Facebook group pages are so unintuitive. I have no idea how to even navigate it or use it or update it. It's just the most complicated thing in the world. And I do feel bad for all of our followers who follow us on Facebook because we never update it because we don't know how. And then all our followers on Twitter, they just follow my main page. Like it's not Mac McNet, but it's my main account. They don't follow us on the TIJ account. Back when we started, Dominic did try to advertise our stuff on Facebook, but a lot of Kingdom Hearts Facebook pages and group pages are real uppity about Kingdom Hearts. They weren't really that receptive to our content. I know our Birth by Sleep stuff's really like outdated and really just bad, but they really responded defensively. Like, how dare you make fun of our series, and that's not how that scene would make sense. You know, there's a reason for why the world walls break and gummy stars, and they're being real technical and anal about how Kingdom Hearts works and how our jokes just didn't make sense, and they accused us of like not being real fans and stuff like that. So we just kind of steered clear of Kingdom Hearts group pages ever since that point. The Final Fantasy fans, they loved our stuff. That's why our FF15 series became so big, because Final Fantasy fans know how to have a good time, apparently, but Kingdom Hearts fans like to be real like gatekeepy, I guess, about who makes fun of their series. I don't know. Vanessa asks, Mac, on one of the episodes, forget which one, there's a scene in FF15 Abridged where you said, "Thank you, Iris," when voicing Ignis, even though you were talking to Aranea. Was that intentional, or did you say it on accident? Yes, because Ignis is blind, so he thinks he's talking to Iris the whole time, and it's actually Aranea. It was just one of the many jabs we took at Ignis not being able to see. So yeah, it was on purpose. Derek in the Dominoes asks, are you gonna do Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC abridged? There's already some DLC cutscenes that I've sprinkled into, the main story, because a lot of the scenes in the DLC and Remind just are scenes that should have taken place in the base game. And I've used some music, like the data fight music, because that's... all the data fights have fantastic tracks to go along with them. But yeah, the upcoming episode with the fights between Organization 13 and the Keyblade Graveyard, that incorporates footage from Remind for sure. I don't really have any intention of doing like Melody of Memory or anything, but I mean, there's not that much story content in that game anyway. If anything, I might just have like one episode that just has like the rest of Remind and then Melody of Memory. Derek in the Dominoes also asks, in Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep Abridged, how can Master Xehanort read minds? I honestly don't know. He can do it in the actual game, I think. No, wait, can he? Terra can see the future. I don't know why that is. But maybe Master Xehanort could also read minds in the game. I don't know. Darkness. Let's just say darkness. I honestly don't remember. I have no actual answer for you. I'm sorry. Lee20 asks, so when will Xion be appearing? Also, it's Lord of Thirst. Hi, Lord of Thirst. Xion will appear when she appears in the game, man. I don't know what to tell you. I don't make the cutscenes. Ophion asks, this dude needs more attention. This channel slaps. There we go. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, tell your friends about it. You know, again, we've definitely tried to branch out and advertise, and it is what it is, but by this point, like, we have a lot of dedicated fans who still watch our stuff, and thank you guys for doing that for sure. I can definitely see why they would, you know, people would show up, watch, like, our first episode of Birth by Sleep Abridged and be like, ugh, this is terrible, because that's what I would do. But yeah, thank you. I think our channel slaps, too. Dual Tone asks, this series is perfection. Thank you. I don't think there's a single episode of these abridged series I haven't enjoyed. There's many I haven't enjoyed, looking back. Keep up the amazing work. Edit. I also love how Xeminus almost has a split personality. Or is that whole heart obsession just Terra? Yeah, in our series, I wrote Xeminus to just be Terra. Because, I mean, like, that makes sense, right? Like, Xeminus is Terra's nobody, technically. You know, like, in the actual series, he's definitely just another Xehanort, which I think is really boring, especially with a lot of... There was a lot of build-up and foreshadowing regarding Xeminus and Terra having some sort of connection. But that was all kind of scrapped in KH3. And I think it's way more interesting if Xeminus does have some semblance of Terra within him. But in our version, yeah, he's just Terra. It's the same actor who plays Terra who we have play Xeminus, just, you know, I pitch it down. It's not really a split personality, it's just Terra. Chick Dude. Your name's Chick Dude? Alright. Oh, this is a question from episode, I think, 1 of 358 Days Over 2 Abridged. He's quoting Axel.
I feel like Xeminus knows exactly what we're up to.
And then Disembodied Voice from Nowhere says,
he does!
That disembodied voice is Zigbar. This isn't really a question, it's just a quote, but I wanted to make sure people knew that was Zigbar. He's just in the background. Just Bingley 8000. I really want to know where some of these names come from. Why hasn't this got its own TV Tropes page yet? I don't know. I would love it if I had my own TV Tropes page. I think TV Tropes is really fun. People hate on TV Tropes. I don't know why. I don't know. I would make one on my own if I knew how, but I don't know how to even do that. So, Angie V. There's 2 posts. One, thank you for providing entertainment in these hard times. You're welcome. I love how dysfunctional and narcissistic the FF15 cast is portrayed in your series. Jeremiah has a beautiful voice. I don't know. And I would love to hear a whole song, not just parts of it. Yeah, so as far as dysfunctional and narcissistic goes, my goal was to make them like the cast from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, with just how they're just the worst people who shouldn't be hanging out together at all. And yeah, there's probably a lot of footage of Jeremiah actually singing. Like, I think there's a scene where Prompto is singing in a cave. I think Jeremiah, like, actually sung, like, a good portion of a song for that. It's so funny listening to Stand By Me, like, in Vegas Pro. Like, if I mute Gladio, Ignis, and Noctis, if you mute everyone besides Prompto, he's the only one who sounds good singing. And then you, like, mute everyone but Gladio, and it's just Dominic just, stand by me. It's so funny. Oh, and I forgot to ask, are you guys gonna do FF7? I don't have any plans to do it, but everyone's busy doing like stuff these days, you know, like with their actual lives. It's harder for us to get together and record. You know, Dominic's having like a second child and stuff like that. So I don't know if we do another Final Fantasy game. It would probably have to be like a one-time video, just get as much stuff into one thing. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. And then the Uchiha of Sasuke Uchiha. I could have sworn your name was different before. You just said, yay Noctis. That isn't a question, but you're not wrong. Yay Noctis. And then a lot of people asked how we got Ray Chase. For the grand finale of Final Fantasy XV Abridged, I wanted to do something really special. And I knew that Ray Chase, you know, did some voiceover, like lent his voice to YouTube channels before. He did like a makeup tutorial. I think it was like a cosplayer who was dressing up as Luna Freya, and then Ray Chase as Noctis was like describing what she was doing, and it was funny. And I was like, oh, so Ray Chase is like, he's cool like that. Like he'll he'll reprise the role of Noctis for YouTube channels. I asked him on Twitter. I was like, hey, do you have like a like an email that I can email you at? And he was like, yeah, here's my... well, he told me to look it up on his like website, and then I found it, and then I emailed it to him, and I was like, hey, we have an abridged series for Final Fantasy 15. Would you want to help us out? Like, it's our grand finale, and you know, people would super love it if you were involved. And then he was like, yeah, sure. And then we just kind of emailed back and forth, working out what he would be able to do. When I was writing the scripts, I already wanted like the time travel stuff, going to fight the Adamantis and everything. I already wanted that to be like part of the finale, because that's why we had like Gladio and Prompto talking about fighting turtles back in episode 1, you know, like I wanted that to be kind of like that's the end game, you know, fighting that fucking turtle. And so I wanted the time travel to be involved. I didn't know how we were going to do it per se, but yeah, we worked things out. And then I emailed Ray Chase the script, and I was nervous, because I was like, man, I'm actually gonna have to make sure this dialogue is good, because it's for an actual actor this time. It's not just, you know, us fucking around. And yeah, so I emailed it to him, and then he got it back to me like a month later or something, and it was with his audio. And when I got that email, I was like, oh my god, this is so like my heart was pounding. I was like, yeah, this is really happening. This is super cool. I thought he was gonna do a good job, but it was even better than like how I was hearing the dialogue in my head. You know, when I was writing the script, I like heard it one way, and then Ray Chase did it even better than that. So yeah, so that's how we got Ray Chase, and it turned out fucking fantastic. And that was like the best final episode I could have asked for. I think it was a really good send-off of the series. People say that they cry watching it, and I'm like, that's crazy to me. Y'all are really getting emotional over our stupid YouTube series. But yeah, those are the questions that were submitted, and the ones that I found on some videos. If you have any more questions, I might make another video. If you have questions like for specific actors, like you know, Prompto, Terra, Gladio, whoever, ask them too. I'm gonna sneeze so bad. I'm holding it back. Yeah, thanks for watching. You know, make sure to like and subscribe. Episode 8, I guess, of Kingdom Hearts 3 Abridged. This is almost done. It's not gonna take 6 months like the last episode. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.